Hacho, papi, a mí se me pierde todo, brother. Bueno, en tu cama dormí. Tú dijiste que esta noche está buena para hacer maldades. Damn, how come I'm always losing some shit? Yo. Is this possible? I lost my cookie. Yo. I lost my cookie. I lost my cookie. What up, Casey? How you doing, man? Can't find my cookie. I think I found it. I bought one cookie. He gave me two. I bought a small Frosty, and he gave me like a medium. Only when you're on a diet do they want to give you free cookies. But Wendy's cookies are pretty good. Too bad I don't got no milk. I don't buy milk no more, but I've been craving some milk with my cookies lately. I've been on a cookie binge. Bro, I got my truck back, and I already got to take it back to the shop tomorrow. I only had it for 2 days, man. This shit crazy. Muchacho. It's doing this. Look, I don't know if you can see that. See that light blinking? It says check engine fault. Got all these lights on. And then it wants me to do a forced regen, but it doesn't let me do the forced regen. Anyway, what's new? Did the Bills win? Wow. What's up, Cairo? Team Sugar. Team Sugar. Azúcar. So the Bills won, bro, yes or no? PMC's back. Won against the toughest team in New England. Yeah, I seen like the previews earlier. Yeah, I bought one cookie and they gave me two. They only want to give you free cookies when you're trying to lose weight. I thought home cookie. Not much, man. Gotta take my truck back to the dealership in the morning. No, he ignored me. He probably had a long night. You know, he be getting it in. Le gusta vacilar. Yeah, so one of my tenants broke. One of my tenants broke the handle to their back door. Their back. She got a deck on her back door with a sliding glass door. I bought the house with it from my uncle. Hold on, let me close this curtain because this damn truck is so damn loud. I gotta scream all the damn time. I'm losing my hearing. Yeah, so she broke the handle. She's like, oh, can Louis come fix this? And I said, yeah, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why do I have to pay for that? So I'm debating, do I just text her back tomorrow? I was like, yo, you know what? I thought about it, and y'all got to figure that out. When I rented you the house, the door and the handle was fine. You know what I mean? Like, she's a good tenant and it's not an expensive fix. So I'm debating. I'm a good landlord. She loves me. She gives me a lot of credit. She said, "Oh, you're the best landlord I always ever had. You always fix everything, blah, blah, blah." But at the same time, like, I got to put my foot down sometimes. So I don't know. I guess I'll fix it for her. Yeah, dealing with properties is, having tenants is, it'll definitely test your patience. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Now my truck is broken again. Who knows, Casey? I was home a few days ago, but only for one day when I went to pick up my truck. Me, Nadia, Destiny, Selena, my niece and nephews, my daughter's goddaughter, Izzy. A bunch of us, we went to Chili's to eat. It wasn't planned, I went to pick up baby Z. And I see my sister, my sister's kids go to the same school as my daughter. So I was like, "Yo, you want to go with us to eat?" She was like, "Yeah." So, all right, let's go. Shit cost me a grip. I paid for everybody. That's how I roll. You know what I mean? I don't see my kids all the time, but whenever I see them, even if they have a job, I still pay for their food. But I'm debating, do I still get them presents? Because they never get me presents. They all work. They've been working for years, and I never got a gift. Why do I got to keep buying them gifts if they don't buy me gifts? Like, yo, this is a two-way street. Like, you got a job. But I bet you they buy their moms gifts. That's how it is. The dad is just, the dad gets the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? But my mom's love is different, Don't get me wrong. There's some fantastic dads out there who are better dads than the mother is a mother. But in most cases, I would have to say, I don't know, 95%, the mother shows more love. But a father shows a different type of love, I was more focused on my kids' health and on their education when we used to live together, and I used to have them, like, clean and, like, prepare them for the real world. The mothers are, like, more, like, laid back. That's why kids need both parents, because the mother gives them the love and the affection that they need. But the father gives them that tough love, you know what I mean? And lets them know, like, yo, this is how it's got to be. But when you don't live with them, it's hard to, obviously you can't operate in the same way. So it is what it is. What you gonna do? DJ Tony Toca. Fucking Louis. Louis, alright. And enjoy your dinner, PMC. Take your time, man. You always support, bro. Don't ever feel like you obligated, you know what I mean? You show me more than enough support. And I try not to take this too personal. I mean, we're humans. Social media is definitely gonna have a role on our emotions. Some of us more than others. These are just my thoughts. Some people take it more serious than others, but at the end of the day, we are gonna have, you're gonna have some type of emotion involved in it. If not, I feel like you wouldn't be a human. We would like when people, come to talk with us and stuff like that. I mean, so again, some people take it to the extreme, and some people can't control their emotions, and they blow it out of proportion, and we all know people like that. They get mad and they block people and they take their wrench away, and they be doing too much. Oh yeah, homemade enchiladas. Chamorro. I'm not sure what that is. I usually wait till I go to Texas to get Mexican food. That's what's up. I had to eat Wendy's today, and I found a food truck across the street. It was like some Middle Eastern food. They didn't have no rice. They had rice, but only with beef. I asked for rice with chicken, and he said no rice. But then I found out he had rice with beef. I ended up eating a biggie bag from Wendy's. You know, it came with the burger, the fries, the nuggets. And then I bought a chicken sandwich from Wendy's too. Plus that wrap. And then tomorrow I'm gonna have to figure something out, man. I should have stood strong and just cooked in the truck today twice, but I was so bored. Just sitting here, I get bored, and it's like hard for me just to stick to like cooking and staying in the truck. I mean, I could have went in the restroom, in the truck stop, but when I'm working, you know, it's easier. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I don't really care about Christmas too much, Cairo, so it's not really one, you know what I mean? I think Christmas is more for people who are like, I mean, everybody, I guess, looks at Christmas in a different way, but whatever. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I just feel like I'm not going to really celebrate Christmas and Easter and all those holidays, all these fake ass holidays, man-made holidays. I think I'll celebrate just birthdays and New Year's. That's it. Holidays are like corny. You get all these phony ass people reaching out to you. It's like, bruh, deja la mierda. Wow, so the Bills won, huh? Man, imagine Puerto Rico came out with their own NFL team and their own NFL team and their own like NBA team. That'd be cool. They should. I mean, they're part of the USA. No doubt. Pretty sure we got some people that made it to the Major League Baseball though, because I know that, you know, South America's known for baseball and soccer and shit. I know there's a few famous baseball players with my last name. I don't want to say my last name on here, but I had a few people mention that to me, like, oh, I remember this baseball player. I had a security guard say it to me. And I think maybe 2 security guards, old timers, talking about, oh yeah, they're talking about baseball players from like when I was a baby, probably. I still gotta brush my teeth. It's a cold world, bundle up and never freeze up. Oh yeah, they made it to the Major League. That's cool. I want to start going to some games, man, with my kids. Baseball game, hockey game, just for the experience. That's what's up. You say, hey, Life Fedora, long time no see. Did you make it to Africa yet? I know you were planning on moving to Africa when you retired. Yeah, you gotta open your, you gotta expand the mind of your kids by taking them to different events and different experiences. Every time we just go to eat, go eat, go eat. Like, you gotta go to events and eat at the event. Museum, games, road trips. I know there's gonna be a lot more adventure though with me and my kids. You know, we're all still fairly young. Oh wow, you're living the good life, traveling. That's what's up. Aura was smart with her money. She worked, she saved her money. Now she could travel and relax and chill. That's gonna be me right there. My retirement is important to me. I know people say, "Oh, you only live once. Enjoy your money while you're young." Like, yeah, I don't have nothing wrong with people enjoying their money while they're young. But what I'm saying, you gotta put something away for retirement. And apparently, the majority of people don't. Too many people out here working and not saving money. A lot of people are banking on only a 401k, and that depends. One, it depends how much you're putting in there, and two, depends where you're gonna live. But a 401k is meant to supplement your retirement. It was never designed to be your only source for retirement. You know what I mean? For sure, PMC. Yeah, like I said, I want people to, like I tell my kids, I want y'all to travel. I want y'all to have nice cars. I want y'all to eat out, have fun. But every week you gotta put something in that savings. 15% minimum. As soon as you get paid, you gotta take out at least 15% and put it in your savings. And then after that, whatever you want to do with the rest, you do what you want, you know. These kids don't listen to me though. But it's all right. They better listen, because when I get old and I retire, they not going to be living off my retirement check. I'm like, I told y'all. Don't be coming over here asking me for my money. Shit. If y'all would have been investing in your retirement when I told y'all wouldn't be having to ask me for money. I mean, I talk that shit now, but facts, TDS. I talk that shit now, but you know, when you're older, I don't think you really care about money as much. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody's different. I mean, I want to help my kids and be there for my grandkids and all that, but they gotta step up to the plate. You gotta teach them. Yeah, that's the way to do it, Aura. That is funny, PMC. It's funny because my one daughter, I tried to borrow some money from my daughter not too long ago. I think it was a few $1,000s. I was trying to, make an investment. I told her I'll pay you back like in, 6 months or something like that. And she was giving me a hard time. And she said no, and I know she had the money. She'd be stacking. She lives with her mom and shit. But now, this is what I told her. I said, well, what about when you get older and the tables turn and you want to borrow money from me? She was like, I'm going to make sure that never happens. And I respect her confidence. She believes in herself. She's always going to be like independent. And I like that. She's strong-minded. But I'm not going to forget that. So lately, she's been asking me money to help me pay for her college. You know what I mean? Shout out to her. She's my first daughter that's going to college and shit. Anyway, and I'm helping her, but I'm giving her a hard time about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it depends, TDS. They got to be doing something to earn it. There's a difference between giving your kid money that wants to just sit on their ass and smoke weed and drink and do nothing, compared to giving your kid money who's, wants to go to school or is using it for something valuable, that might be in a pinch. Yeah, but it makes me feel like, dang, you couldn't lend me a little bit of money. Oh, but then they want me to help them do this. I don't want to talk about my kids too much, I dropped the ball and I wasn't there for them as much as I should have been. So I feel like I owe them. I always been there for my kids financially, I just feel like I wasn't there for them, like bonding, like building that, that strong bond. All right, you too, PMC. Probably see you tomorrow. Yeah. Team Water. All right, good night. Damn. Yep. Man, this thing is always shaking and making that noise. I'm sorry, guys. Last night I put some paper in this drawer so to stop shaking. Where do I got it? Around here somewhere. Gotta fold up this paper and put it in this crack. Pat Beasy, is that you? Juan Omeda, Juan Tarameda. I think that's my boy from Buffalo. Lingy, lingy, lingy. I think that's gotta be it. Nah, I'm not going to sleep yet. In about 8 minutes, I'm gonna end the stream. I usually do like 30 minutes. This is my second one today. I was super bored. Is that you, Papito? Yeah, it's gotta be. You're the only one that got that name. Oh, that's what's up, man. Welcome to the stream. I seen your cousin Los Toast and Angel's live stream the other day on TikTok, but I didn't say nothing to him. I was tempted to say what's up, but I backed off. The older I get, I'm becoming, more like you. And I know you did say that you're becoming more like social, but I don't want to be anti-social, but I just was like, I mean, we already connected before on YouTube, and we never really kept it going. So I was like, on TikTok, I don't want to connect with too many people. You know what I mean? I already got enough people that I bond with, and that's good. I mean, he's cool. I don't got nothing against him. What's up with your other cousin? Anti-time waster. There you go. What's up with your cousin? Macho, when he coming out? That's a good way to put it, Papito. And you've been doing that since we were babies. You always been ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Like, you're very intelligent. Yo, remember we were like in 4th grade or some shit, and I don't even want to talk about this. I'll just say this. You wrote a note to the teacher. I think you were passing me a note, or you were passing somebody a note in class, and it said, I want to the teacher. I'm not going to say, yeah, Machito. I thought I used to call him something different. You said, I want to blank to the teacher, and then she found it, and then she read it, but you like spelled it wrong. Yo, I don't know. I got like a bad memory. I don't have too much memories from like school and stuff like that, but I remember that shit. That shit was funny. I think her name was Miss C. Her name started with like a C or something. Wasn't she like pregnant or something too? No, that was a note from Christopher Williams. See, I don't even remember Christopher Williams. I remember Walter. Remember a black kid named Walter? Yeah, me and Juan used to go to school. We've been going to school, I think, since like kindergarten, right? Before grammar school. Remember Walter? There was this black dude. His name was Walter something. I think his last name was... Yeah, Miss Coyle. Yeah. She was pretty. Damn. Mr. Torres. I'm trying to remember some of the other teachers. Mr. Hale. Remember Mr. Hale? He used to poke us in the temple and in the nose when he was mean, bro. I used to tell my mom and she never would do nothing. What about that big, fat, stinky math teacher? I don't like talking bad about people. I don't know if he was a substitute teacher, but this dude, I could still smell him, bro. This dude used to have like this cheap ass cologne on, and he used to walk up the stairs, and he used to be sweating. That dude used to, yeah, that was Mr. Hale. And he used to always be sweating, and he would walk up like, a little bit of the stairs, and he would take a breather and be all sweating. And by the time he made it to the room, he would have to sit down. He used to have like jerry curls. He was like he looked like a white guy, but he had like that curly, greasy hair. Oh man, it's bad when you could. Hey, what's up, Cat? Nice to meet you. Mr. Curtin? Is that what his name was? I don't remember his name. I know we had a science teacher, Miss Rivera. Do you remember Miss Rivera? Miss Rivera was like one of my favorite teachers. She was pretty. She was like older, but she was mad nice. I used to like science. A white black guy. Yeah. Let me see who else. Mr. Martinez. I think that was our art teacher. A little short dude. Mr. Curitan. Oh, that's how you say his name? Yeah, that dude was smelling funny. Neil Castleberry. What school was that? Grammar school, high school? Miss Fuentes got the Bruja store. Yeah, bro, that's my brother's aunt. That's my brother's mother's sister, bro. No cap. R.I.P. to my stepmom, Millie. Yeah. Trying to see who else. Oh, you already know the detention teacher, Miss Lopez. I used to always be in detention. I was kind of bad in Lockport. I used to live in Lockport for a little while. I forgot the school that I went to, though. It was grammar school. I only went probably for like a few months. I was living in my cousin's house because I had caught an ACD, a little charge in Buffalo. So I was like, man, I'm going to move to Lockport. It was in the suburbs. My uncle lived like in the suburbs. Lockport, Greenview Street or some shit. It was like one of those streets that's like a cove, big circle. So I was like, man, I'm going to move to Lockport because if I stay in Buffalo, I'm going to get in trouble. And I was already like in trouble with the law. And I was like, if I don't leave Buffalo and I stay here, I'm gonna get locked up. So I went over there, and me and my cousin, we were doing our thing with the bud, you know what I mean? And then my cousin, may she rest in peace. Me and my cousin were out like chilling, and they found the stash. We came home, and my cousin's mom was like, "Look what we found in your room," and I was embarrassed, and then I used that excuse to move out. I think how my life would have been if I would have lived there. Y'all would have been in better schools. I would have probably had a bunch of white babies. I got a cousin named Claudicia. I don't know if you know my cousin. She's from Lockport. That BC, exactly. What up, TMI? I went to Washington Hunt and Emmett Belknap before moving to Hawaii. Wow. Oh, and Newport. I don't remember none. I got a bad memory. We used to, I kind of messed up my brain. Yeah, but yeah, Lockport, man. I had fun. I know. Oh, you're probably familiar with Reed's then. Reed's hot dogs. What about Pizza Oven? Those are like the two restaurants that I remember. Pizza Oven. They had that bomb ass pizza with the sweet sauce. Or you could pick this. Lockport's like the only city I know where you could like. They got a couple spots in Buffalo that do it now. It's called, I think, Papa's Pizza. They ask you if you want sweet sauce or you want regular sauce. I'm like, damn, like I never even knew about that until I went to Lockport. Oh, you know those two spots? Yeah, I want to go back out there. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm still happy the way, I came to Buffalo and I had 5 kids, and, life has its own strange way of, unfolding, but no regrets, you know what I mean? Can't live with regrets. We just got to accept what we've been through, learn from it, and You know, just do better. Yes, pizza oven. I have told Papito about that. I lived right around the corner from one, and Reed still haunts my dreams. I'm taking him when we can for sure. Yeah, that'll be cool. He'll like it. I'm not really into burgers too. It's funny that I say that because I had a burger today actually from Wendy's because I'm at a truck stop and there's nothing around. But I mean, I eat burgers here and there, but I would probably prefer pizza oven. TMI, what's up? That's my passport, bro. I was just watching a video about passport bros. Oh man, this lady was talking. She was funny as hell. The thing she was saying. It's funny though, because she made a video clowning the passport bros. And then the second video I watched of her, she was like giving the passport bros, like saying, you know, I don't blame them for, you know, being tired of these Western women, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, which one is it? Are you with us? I mean, not with us. I guess I'm a passport bro. I mean, went there last night. For sure, Papito. That's hilarious. We were there last time. Where y'all was at? Wendy's? Yeah, Wendy's got that biggie bag right now. That's what I got. I got the stack, the chicken nuggets. I ate a lot. Then I bought a cookie. They gave me 2. I'm like, damn. I think she just wants views. You know what I mean? Different, more views or whatever. There's a lot of good women here in the States, you know what I mean? And there's bad women in other countries. But like I always say, when my man TMI in the chat, he's a passport bro. Like he literally travels like to Asia, and he travels to Dominican Republic mainly, and he's always out there, you know what I mean? He wants me to go to DR. I'm debating. I'm not, how do I say this? I'm not really into that, you know what I mean? Like, I want to go, if I go out there, I want to have fun, but like, I want to travel and do the tourist shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, if I meet somebody, that's cool, but I'm not going out there to be like sleeping with multiple women, you know what I mean? That's not my style. Like, I'm not a dog like that. And I don't know if I trust Latina women to try to scoop one of them up. Yeah, I'm about to end. I usually do like 30 minutes live streams. Nah, for real. I mean, they don't have as much respect for men. The problem is they make their own money now. That's what it boils down to. Back in the days, they kind of needed men. Now they feel like they don't need men. But they don't realize, then they realize later that they do need a man. There's a chemistry. I was watching, I'll say this real quick and then I'm going to let y'all go. I was listening to a video the other day, and it was I'm not going to explain this very well, but, you know, they was basically explaining that, like, the hormones and the energy that a man and a woman have when they're together literally lets off, like, dopamine, you know what I mean? Like, a woman can't get the same dopamine hits when she's with a woman. Don't get me wrong, if they're gay, I understand all that, but I guess it's geared more towards the women who are just think they don't need a man and they're gonna live without a man, and then they end up like miserable. But I don't know, we'll see. TDS used to be out there, but he's married now. That's what's up. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thanks for coming through. I guess I'll see you around. Yeah, we'll link up. I haven't been on TikTok lately. I'm taking a break from all those other apps. But once I get back over there, I'll shoot you a message. And then I walked by your house a few days ago, actually. What was I doing? Was I walking or was I driving? Why do I feel like I walked by your house? I must have drove by. Damn, I'm losing it. TikTok bros, hot. All right, though, guys, have a good night. Peace out. I'll see you on the flip side. Take it easy.